In this half hour, an unprecedented move in deportation efforts. The new decision between the IRS and ICE and how this will impact undocumented immigrants. Plus, Governor Gretchen Whitmer gave her Build America Build address in our nation's capital, what she highlighted about U.S. manufacturing and the ongoing tariffs. And you'll soon no longer be able to use these pink stickers if you live in Marquette. Changes coming this summer to the trash pickup system as your TV6 Morning News continues.
From Upper Michigan's source, this is your TV6 Morning News.
Good Thursday morning. We're almost to the weekend, and if you're anything like me, you're looking forward to a bit of a spring-like warm-up. Jennifer, that's really what I've been paying attention to all week in your weathercasts.
Yeah, Tia, and it's still in the forecast.
Turning to Decision 2026 coverage. That was Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers announcing he will not seek re-election next year. The two-term Democrat has served in that role since 2018. His announcement yesterday creates the first open race for governor in the battleground state in 16 years. With both parties bracing for a wide open race, Wisconsin's political future could look very different by next fall when the next governor is elected. In the lead up to the search, both Democrats and Republicans believe it's important for the next governor to be able to work in a divided state. Now, those are super important tips. I can imagine a lot of you will be heading to the beach over the weekend. Jennifer, it's going to be a hot one. Two out-the-door headlines. Today, the U.S. House will be potentially voting on a budget blueprint that could impact Medicaid. Republicans in support say it will not cut Medicaid or Social Security assistance for qualified beneficiaries, but Democrats say they're worried about some aspects of those programs. The U.S. House Committee on Natural Resources took up discussion on the Livestock and Pet Protection Act that would delist the gray wolf from the endangered species list, returning wolf management to individual states. The committee voted to approve the act, and now the bill moves on to the House of Representatives for a vote there. China is fighting back in the ongoing trade war, raising its own tariff on U.S. imports from 34% to 84%. President Trump made a post on Truth Social yesterday announcing a 90-day pause of all other tariffs, opting instead to put a 10% across-the-board tariff into effect. A new mixed-use space in Ishpeming is now open, which was previously the site of rare earth goods. The borough is a collaborative space put on by local businesses, offering you a variety of amenities and business opportunities. Feeding America West Michigan's mobile food pantry is in Marquette County today. Distribution will be located at Silver Creek Church and Silver Creek Thrift in Chocolate Township starting at 10 a.m. and will continue until supplies last, or 11:30 Eastern. The annual Mackinac Bridge Walk is a month away. Find out the guidelines MDOT has put in place for this year's event as your TV6 Morning News continues.
From Upper Michigan's source, this is your TV6 Morning News.
Good Tuesday morning, and thanks for joining us. Mark your calendars for Labor Day for that Mackinac Bridge Walk. I think every Michigander should try that experience at least once in their lives. That is still a month away, though. We have elections to get through today that we'll talk about in a moment. But first, Jennifer, hazy skies linger around this morning. An August update from the Iron Ore Heritage Trail Authority. I'm joined now by Trails Administrator Bob Hendrickson. So a couple of topics to get through this morning, including trail etiquette. But first, I want to talk about the Lake and Inland Extension Project. That's something that we've highlighted several times over the past few months. And now you say it's being postponed.
It is. So we ended up through this whole process of planning this past spring. It turns out we have a dual right-of-way within the same corridor. And it's not a continuous right-of-way, but there is a county road BAA that parallels part of the railroad corridor, which was probably a service road for the railroad or whatever it wanted to be. So what we ended up having to do, we're working with the county road commission on basically moving the trail to the opposite side of where the county road would be, and we need to file new plans for that with the state of Michigan, get approval. So we're so far into the construction season already. We're deciding to pump the brakes on it right now. Let's do this right. Get everything kind of lined up for next season. We're going to rebid it, and then we'll get something put on the ground next year.
Okay, so a couple of hiccups with that Lake and Inland Extension project, but in the future it should be up and ready for people to use. But
Yeah.
On the topic of construction, you recently completed a new motorized bypass on the trails in Negaunee.
And that's been something that's been in the works for a number of years also, kind of on the side and kind of not as high profile. But we had a section of trail that's a snowmobile trail, which is, we're moving that over to also an ORV trail. So it bypasses the boardwalk area. We cut a trail last year that has a culvert in it, and the big thing was getting a legal railroad crossing for ORVs and pedestrians and everybody else. So that was something that we worked on this past year with the Michigan DNR. Also, Canadian National was a huge partner in this, so it was great to work with the railroad, getting the signage in there, getting their approval, and the Michigan MDOT Railroad Safety Commission too. So there's a lot of players in it. It was really funded through the Michigan DNR ORV grants, and that is something that we were able to get done this year. That's going to give a lot more access to Negaunee from the east, coming to there, and then it ends up over by the Negaunee Ice Arena, and then from there you can take the trail all the way up to Republic.
So that's improving accessibility, it's improving recreation opportunities, and on that note, in just a few short months, the type of recreation we see on these trails will change, but it's still August, it's still summertime. Really, we're in the height of trail use, so trail etiquette is something to keep in mind.
It is, and this goes across the board for motorized, non-motorized, anybody that uses the trail. The big thing is being courteous. We have a lot of different vehicles out there, all kinds of e-bikes type stuff. It really comes down to realizing that you're not the only person on the trail. When you come up to somebody, be courteous, say hi, make eye contact with them. Also, slow down, keep to the right. This includes walkers and everybody else, so pretend that you're on a roadway, and it's kind of the same rules of etiquette. Stay on the right, pass when you're passing, making sure that you use an audible signal so you're not startling somebody. If you're wearing earbuds, making sure that the volume is down, or wear one that you can be aware of your surroundings still. So don't tune out, you gotta still be tuned into the rest of the trail. That's
a great piece of advice. If you are listening to music, tune it down a little bit so that you can still be completely aware of your surroundings. Is there anything else you'd like to share in this August update, Bob?
Well, I mean, a lot of it has just been, a really busy summer for maintenance now, and that's where we're going to shift a lot of our focus. Still have a lot of projects to do along the trail, that just on the maintenance side, a lot of replacement of parts. So it's been busy on that side of things. We'll finish out the season that way. We'll keep going until November, when the trail basically converts over to a snowmobile trail. And so yeah, we have a lot of work ahead of us.
I mean, you folks are always busy with your work, maintaining the trails, keeping this trail system an excellent option for us recreators in Marquette County. So I wanted to thank you for your time and for your efforts, and for joining me on the news this morning, Bob.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and when we come back, we take a look at a new addition to Negaunee's Jackson Mine Park and how it was made possible. The week of Independence Day brings a high number of visitors to Marquette. This is one of the busiest times of the year in the city for tourists. Visitors spend their money here, and that helps power small businesses and events that residents also take advantage of. But how visitors experience Marquette and where they stay shapes the economic impact they leave behind.
Hotels contribute more to the economy, in my opinion, because they hire a workforce here. They are paying those lodging assessments or lodging fees that go into our CVB, our Convention Visitors Bureau.
It's a cycle. Visitors stay in hotels, hotels support Travel Marquette, and Travel Marquette supports events that locals love. Though short-term rentals don't contribute to the local economy in ways hotels do, many in the Marquette area are owned locally, and some push their guests to experience what the community has to offer.
We want to bring as much positivity to the community as possible. So in our cottages, we do have that welcome book that posts local events, that has recommendations for restaurants and breweries and shops, and with the contrast coffee that we supply for our guests. We want them to have a taste of the local life.
While short-term rentals help meet the growing demand for lodging, there's also caution, as the city wants to avoid oversaturating the local housing market with them.
So I think that many of our regulations or our requirements in there kind of preserve that balance. So an entire neighborhood isn't going to be a short-term rental neighborhood. And I think that because we've really looked at that and had so much thought and intention in the zoning, in the land development code, and in our ordinance, it really, I think, preserves that.
A common concern among locals is whether the growth of short-term rentals is driving up the prices of long-term rentals. The answer is not so clear-cut.
There is no legal mechanism to control rent. And in the type of community that we have with the connection with the university, we have a lot of need for student housing.
It's a nuanced issue. Some short-term rentals may compete with long-term housing. Others, like silo cottages, are designed to support tourism without pulling from the existing housing stock.
This was an undeveloped location, so this was just a brand new location that we built specifically for the rentals.
In 2023, visitors brought in an estimated $173 million to Marquette County, according to Travel Marquette.
Without that economic driver, we would have a lot different community. We wouldn't have year-round restaurants, we wouldn't have year-round activities, we wouldn't have events.
As the city of Marquette adapts to changes in tourism trends, it's working to find balance between serving those who come to play and those who choose to stay. Yesterday, we looked into the need for lodging in Marquette. New hotels and short-term rentals have opened up this year, though summer tourism actually peaked in Marquette in 2022. Essler tells me that the volume of visitors has since been back to pre-pandemic normal levels. What's opening up now is meeting that need. You can watch both parts on UpperMichiganSource.com.